going to read a bunch of Reddit stories. We're going to have a haha kiki moment. I'm going to give my unsolicited advice. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I am going to do stories that are near and dear to my heart. It's weddings, if you don't know, and marriages. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first subreddit is, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for giving my husband one day to return the bracelet that he took from his daughter's mom? It's a bit complicated, so bear with me. I, 34 female, have been with my husband, 37 male, for 2 years. He has a 9-year-old daughter with his ex-wife, Nora. And the reason for the divorce was financial, but she told me he initiated after she got diagnosed with cancer. Ooh! Wow. Pause, hold the phone. I don't know if this was before they actually got together or after they were already together, but either way how it goes. How do you hear someone say, oh yeah, like he divorced me after he found out that I had cancer? Like, why would you want someone like that? You know what I'm trying to say? Why would you want someone like that? Like, for better and for worse, you could have went through the storm with me. He's stating that it was financial, and she's stating that it was after she got diagnosed with cancer. The way I see it, this is just outside looking in, bird's eye view, you know what I'm trying to say? It kind of goes hand in hand because we all know, like, cancer, the chemo treatments, they're not cheap. You know, that's a little pricey. So either way I look at it, that's bad. That's really bad. And I feel like that's a tell sign, like, well, damn, like, if there was something serious to happen to me, like, are you going to hold me down? Are you going to stick it out with me? Or are you going to run for the hills all because of financial? I don't know. That's something to think about. Anyways, so due to treatment schedule, Nora only gets visitation with my stepdaughter for now. My husband drives my stepdaughter to see her mom 2 days a week. Yesterday, he came home saying Nora wasn't home and he and my stepdaughter had to leave after waiting an hour. He went into the bedroom, stayed there for some time, then went out to visit his friend. I was cleaning the bedroom and I found a gold bracelet that looked familiar. I realized it belonged to Nora as I'd seen her wear it before. I was confused. I waited until he got home to ask him about it. His reaction wasn't good. He lashed out and took it out of my hand saying I shouldn't touch his personal stuff. I said this wasn't his stuff, this was Nora's. I asked if he took this bracelet behind her back and he said no. So Nora gave it to him so he could give it to their daughter once she's 20 in case something happens. I don't know why, but I didn't believe him. I told him I would call Nora to ask her, but he started yelling at me to stay out of his family's business. Ooh, that did something to me because last time I checked, I'm your wife. Am I not your family? Am I not your family? Okay, cool. Anyways, we started arguing and I kept demanding him to tell me how and why he got this bracelet. He refused to say anything at first, and then he admitted going into Nora's room, taking it while she was out. I told him this wasn't okay, but he said this was his right after he spent money on her treatment before, but never got his money back. Damn, that's all bad. I was shocked by this statement. They were married back then, and he shouldn't expect to be repaid. I got mad and told him he has 1 day to return the bracelet or I'll tell Nora and let her involve the authorities if she had to, because the bracelet looked heavy and pricey. He begged me to stay out of it, but I refused. He said I was being malicious and should side with him, not threaten him, but I refused to negotiate anything. And I'm responsible for my work now. Nora is a decent woman who's struggling, and I feel like she should know she can't trust her own daughter's father in her home after this. He said if I go through with this will ruin our relationship so badly. But I said I'm still standing by my word. Am I the asshole? Girl, hell no. Hell no. Let's go through this together. Number one, the fact that the ex-wife had sat up there and said, yeah, he left me as soon as he found out the diagnosis of my cancer, that's a red flag. Again, that's a red flag because in the back of my mind, I would literally be reevaluating my relationship with him. Like, damn, like, what if something happened to me? Yeah, I'm good, I'm healthy right now, but tomorrow is not for certain. Tomorrow is not promised. So if something does happen to me tomorrow, are you gonna run? That is going to stay in my head. Number two, I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but the fact that she did not believe him lets me know that she don't really trust her husband. You picking up what I'm putting down? Like, your husband said, oh yeah, like, I'm gonna give this to my daughter. Like, we made an agreement, we made an agreement that when she turns 20, I can give this to her. And I don't know if I'm just like one of those people that just believe people on their word, but like if I'm in a relationship with you, like I'm like, oh, okay, this is your child, this is you and the mother of your child, this is the discussion that you guys had. I don't think I would really push the agenda. So the fact that she's looking at her husband talking about, oh yeah, like this is something that we were going to do for our daughter, and she didn't believe him, that's the second red flag, because you don't even believe your own husband. Number 3, the fact that this fool actually said, these are reparations. He didn't say those words, but in my mind, that's how I'm reading it. He's saying, these are reparations because I paid for her treatments. This is the least she could do, basically. And the fact that he lied using his daughter, he can't be trusted. He ain't shit in my mind. Because anyone that can sit up there and lie on their daughter like that, like use their daughter as a way to backpedal, can't be trusted. Can't be trusted. Can't be trusted. At one point in time, the person that he married, the person that he had a child with, the person that he had once said, I love you to, you know, they had a connection, and she trusted him to be in her house alone. Alone. I'm assuming he has the key if he can just roll up into her place when she's not there. So alone, she trusts you. He's a thief. He's a thief, and he didn't even bat an eye to do it. I would not trust him. Relationships are built on trust. And baby, if I can't trust you, what is the point of this relationship? It's clear she don't trust this man because she thought he was lying. Let me go through this one more time, because I really need to visualize what it is that I'm saying. Number 1, he left her when she got diagnosed with cancer. And he's talking about money. Number 2, he's a thief. He's a thief, and he uses his child to basically stand on his morals. Foolishness. Number 3. What was I going to say for number 3? He's a liar. He can't weather the storm. He uses his child. Yeah, he's not shit. I think that's all we needed to hear based off this story. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. So the next subreddit is still the same subreddit. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not wanting a ring my fiance gave to another girl? Yeah. My now fiance was engaged a couple years before we got together, and they broke up and she gave the ring back. We've been together a few years, and a few days ago he proposed, and I was super excited. The ring looked kind of familiar, and when I asked him where it was from, he said it was the ring he gave to his ex-fiance. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I can't even finish the story because I don't want to lose this in my mind. How does one get on one knee? How does one get on one knee and look at their partner in the eye and propose and be like, babe, marry me? And this is the same raggedy ring that you gave to someone else. I am boggled. I am mind blown. I would love to have like a conversation with this individual just to see like, what was your thought process? What wasn't clicking in your mind at that time when you proposed to your woman? Anyways, getting back into it. I immediately took it off and I was like, I don't want a ring you bought for someone else. It wasn't meant for me. He got upset and said it didn't matter because it's not hers, it's yours. My family and friends are split in saying I'm the asshole and I'm justified. What the hell? How could anyone say that you're the asshole for that? Anyways, I don't want him to spend a whole other $1,000 on a ring for me, but I want a ring that was meant for me, not for someone else. I'm really trying to figure out how can someone really think that you're an asshole for that? Like, it's literally nothing to go in, trade it, hell, pawn it off, get cash for it, and go out and buy a ring for someone, buy a ring that's for your partner. The partner that you're getting ready to marry. Like, I don't understand how anyone can think that that's an asshole move. I wouldn't feel as though that ring was for me. Like, that ring was literally sitting on someone else's finger. And on top of that, I'm super big on, like, what's it called? Oh, I'm super big on like vibes. I'm super big on this is a sign. I'm super big on that stuff. So I feel like, oh, and super big on like energies. That's what I was going to say. So I feel like that ring carried the energy of your ex, and it didn't work out. So why the hell would I want to be walking around wearing a ring that didn't work out with someone? Why? Why? That makes no sense. His logic is not logicking to me. 2 + 2 is not equaling 4. Like, hell no. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to tell her that she needs to leave that man, but there's no way in hell I can marry someone that did not put the time and the effort to look for a ring that was specifically for me. You know, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Like, I was just watching, what's it called? Love is Blind. I was just watching that the other day, and there was a section in there, and they were like, there was a section amongst the couples when they were discussing rings, and the man asked her, are you a gold or are you a silver woman? And she was like, oh, I'm a gold all the way. And I really thought about that, and I feel like that's deep too, because it's like, how can you imagine wearing a ring? I know this is getting off sidetrack, but this is how deep rings go for me, like, because I know I'm getting off track, but I feel like this is still the same ballpark, because rings they're significant. Like, that's what you're going to wear for hopefully the rest of your days. But anyways, I really thought hard about that, and I was like, damn, like, I would be mortified if the person that I was going to get married to didn't even know if I was a gold wearer. Can you imagine, like, if you see me, like, you guys should realize that I love gold. Can you imagine your spouse proposing to you and they're giving you silver and you like gold, or vice versa? It's like, do you even know your spouse? And this is the same thing. Like, were you even thinking about me when there was no thought behind it? There was no thought behind it. It's a hand-me-down ring. And not even a hand-me-down for a generation. It's one thing if it was like generation after generation, like, oh, this was his great-great-grandmother's. Like, hell no, this was an ex. And I presume you went out of your way. Oh, see, down the rabbit hole we go. Because I presume you went out of your way to look for this ring specifically for your ex. You know, you thought it out. How come I don't get that same energy? Then I would really be looking at him crazy. Like, what? I don't deserve the time and attention that you took with your ex for me? Or greater? Especially because you want to marry me? Okay. He's done. He's done. I mean, this is a serious question. Like, would you be okay? I know some people think marriage isn't a big deal. Some people think marriage is just a piece of paper. You know, some people think that this is probably an overreaction. I'm very curious, like, would y'all be okay marrying someone that basically gave you a ring that was on someone else's finger at one point in time? Yeah. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. So this is the last subreddit, and then we are closing it out. Okay, so the subreddit is relationship advice. And basically, they just want to know, feeling guilty about wanting to leave my wife after she supported me and paid for my degree. My wife is 32 female and I'm 33 male, have been together for 13 years, married for 9. When we first got together, she was in college and I was working as a server. She had a full scholarship and worked multiple jobs to cover her living expenses. Her parents never helped her, including working with professors and for her school's library. She was so smart and successful and special, and it made me feel special that she had any interest in me at all. After she graduated, she started making bank, and she didn't have student loans, so she had a lot of disposable income. After we got engaged, she offered to cover all of our rent and living expenses so that I can go to school and get my degree too. I humbly agreed. At the time, I told myself I didn't want her money, but I took it so that I could give her and our family a better future and a better income. I really don't think I was intentionally taking advantage of her, and she definitely suggested the idea first. She supported me for 4 years while I got my degree as a full-time student. She ended up covering my tuition as well because I didn't get much in the way of financial aid after my first year. Now I have a STEM degree and I have about 1.5 years into my jobs post-grad. It's going great. The difference between this and the jobs I was working before is huge. I get to sit at a desk all day and get paid 5 times more than my old job, where I constantly on my feet and physically exhausted. Plus, I find my work interesting and fulfilling. But I'm realizing I'm no longer in love with my wife. If I was ever in love with her at all, she's objectively amazing, smart, successful, likable, kind, but there's no spark and no chemistry between us. She's like a cool roommate. We're intimate maybe a few times a month, and she's always the one to initiate. I just don't feel the way I felt about her. I keep finding reasons to push back our timeline for having kids, and I'm realizing it's probably because I don't ever want kids with her. Oh my God. I've been fantasizing about leaving her, but I can't get over the fact that looking at the history of our relationship, it would probably seem to everybody we know like I just took advantage of her. That genuinely was never my intention. I don't want to be a bad person or do her wrong. How can I leave this relationship in a way that minimizes the harm done to her? How can I get out of this without everyone, including, to be honest, myself, thinking I'm just a bad person? This is so crazy to me. He said, how can I ever get out of this relationship, including myself, without thinking that I'm the bad person? But yet, he actually sat there and he had to question, like, if he ever really loved her. And the reason why he was pushing back on having kids is because he's having doubts about their relationship. So the first thing that comes to my mind is, now you're doubting if you ever really loved her. Now you're stating, oh, that there's no spark between you guys. Now you're having all these questions. It's sick to me. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. He took advantage of her. He already knew that. That's why he's saying, like, oh, I think I might be the bad guy. And that's why he's phrasing it the way that he's phrasing it. Because deep down inside, subconsciously, he knows that he took advantage of her. When she was up and she took a chance on him and she provided and she took care of him to make sure that everything that he had the same opportunity that she was given, he was basically at the bottom of the barrel. Like, damn, like she took a chance on me. Like, damn, like she saw something in me that no one else saw in me. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that. Yada, yada, yada. And now that he's up making money, and now that he can support his life, he can stand on his own 2 feet, he's not looking at her. I truly believe they say, like, a man is tested when he has everything, and a woman is tested when he has nothing. She genuinely loved him. That's already a given. And the fact that they've been together, for 13 years, like, and he's saying, like, I don't think I ever felt anything for her. He loved what she did for her. That's what it was. He was able to take advantage of her. That's really what it is. That's really what it comes down to. Because he knows damn well he wouldn't be able to do it without her. And yeah, that is what it's going to look like. He has an IT job. He makes 5 times, no, he said 5 times more. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much more he made. He can comfortably live his life. And now he can ultimately get the type of woman that he's always wanted. And unfortunately, that type of woman was not his wife, the person that he married. He married her out of convenience. Let me know what y'all thinking. I really don't have much to say about the story because I feel like it's black and white. If anything, if he's going to do this, if he's going to leave and he's making all this bank now, pay her back. Pay her back. That's if she will take it. You know, she could be very prideful and be like, you know, I did that because I love you. Like, I don't even want anything. And that's on her. But out of respect, I would have paid her back. I would have paid her back. Knowing the intentions, like, it's just, he married her out of convenience. That's what it was. He married her because of what she could do for him that he couldn't do for himself at that time. And now that he can stand on his own 2 feet, now that he can do that, now she's not needed. Now he can go after what he really wants. And what he really wants is not her. It was never her.